Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So today I'm back at the one of one dealership where I made a video last week with the new S-Class, and today I'm here to take a look at that. That's the new 2021 Cadillac Escalade. But before we go on ahead with the video, I just wanted to say that if you enjoy videos like these, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below, as it helps to my video to reach a wider range of audience. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, because our channel is aiming for 1,000 subscribers and hope we reach there soon. Fingers crossed for that. And a bit about one of one, I had already mentioned that in my S-Class video, but if you're watching my video for the first time, I'll tell you a bit about them. They are a dealership here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And if you would like to take a look at their collection, you can either come down here, for which I'll put a location link here. And if you're watching this video from outside Saudi Arabia, I'll leave a link to their Instagram page. So do give them a follow and take a look at their collection over there also. So now let's not waste any more time and go right ahead and take a look at the car. So here it is, the 2021 Cadillac Escalade. It has been redesigned for the 2021 model, and pretty obvious changes are on the exterior, and also there are a lot more changes in the interior. But before I talk about the exterior of the car, I want to talk about the price. And here at one of one showroom, the price of this car, brand new, it's 0 kilometers, is 630,000 riyals, and it starts actually at 464,000 riyals. But this one is the top of the range Sport Platinum model. That's why the cost is a bit high, and also it has a lot of other options included, so that obviously makes the price go up. It's a bit more expensive here in Saudi Arabia due to the 15% tax we have to pay, so you might see some difference compared to US prices and prices here in Saudi Arabia. And since we're already at the front, I think we should take a look inside the hood, because there are not many changes over here. So we'll take that out of the way first, and there it is. So the engine options here in Saudi Arabia are limited. You just have one engine, and that's the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8, which has 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. So let's close that hood down and talk a bit about the exterior changes now. Okay, so in the exterior, the biggest change, as you can see, is the front grille, and I have the key over here. It's a basic normal Chevrolet key, and you have the function lock, unlock. You can open the rear glass by pressing these 2 times. That's the glass button actually. This is for the tailgate, and this is if you want to start the car remotely. And this is the panic button. Behind you have this Cadillac logo sideways, and overall it's a nice quality key. And let's come to the front now. So the grille design is obviously pretty big. And from the previous generation, the Cadillac badge is also pretty huge. You can see it's almost the size, it's even bigger than the size of my hands, and my hands are not small, so that will give you some idea about the size of this thing. You get 3 grille options on the new Cadillac. If you go for the base trim, that's called luxury, you get a small diamond shaped patterns that are in the shape of this crest, and you have those in the grille. Then if you go up to the premium luxury or the platinum luxury, you have a grille which they call galvano grille. It has these slats, chrome slats, and I don't like that design. To me personally, it looks like a Gillette's razor blade, so I don't prefer that. I like sporty looks, so this is the grille for me. This you get with the platinum sport model, since I told this is the top end. And any sport model, even the premium sport you go for, you'll get this grille. It's a honeycomb pattern, not exactly a honeycomb, you have a bit of a diamond shape to it also. And if you go for this platinum sport, everything, the surrounds and the headlight interior is a bit darker compared to the premium platinum luxury. I mean, here, like I said, you get chrome on the platinum. Here you get black. Even here you have chrome over there in the platinum luxury, then again black on all the sport models. And then let's come to the headlight design. The previous gen headlight design was one of my favorites, because it had those small LED individual LEDs, I mean, because those look like crystals also when you looked at them up close. This one, not much. It does look good, it does give it an aggressive appearance, but I was a fan of the previous gen headlights more. Overall, you have this big LED design, or DRL you can call it, which also act as the indicators. Then what else do we have here? You have a small splitter kind of, you can say. It has blocked off vents. Nothing is open over here. Every single thing is blocked off. It's just for design purpose. Then you have the camera right here, which has the use for parking, like front cameras, and then it also helps in your 360-degree camera. The hood design is a bit sculpted. It has a bit of a small power dome, and it has the small elements here. These look really good, and especially in this pearl white paint. I'm not sure if you can see, it does shine a bit. Yep, there it shows up, and that's something I think Cadillac does really good, the pearl white, and it looks really good, especially on this Cadillac with the black sport trims. Now let's come to the side. You have these marker lights which are always on. I think that's a regulation in US, that's why they put that. Then as standard, all Cadillacs come on 22-inch wheels. You can't get any bigger than that or any smaller than that, and considering the size of the car, I think this size is just perfect. You have enough profile, and the size of the alloy is big enough to look good, and the size of the profile is also big enough to not hurt your comfort and off-road capability. So these are 275 section tires on these Bridgestones, and I think they are pretty good on-road and off-road if you want to take your expensive car off-road. So these designs, these are almost machine cut, dual tone you can say. This comes only with the sport trim. With the luxury trim you get chrome wheels, for which I'll leave a picture up so that you can understand the difference. But personally I like this one more. Those chrome wheels don't look that good to me. Then behind that you have the brake calipers, which look pretty small on such a big car, but obviously the engineers have made it so that it will stop the car properly. Then there's one element I wanted to show you. When you lock the car, the Cadillac logo over here just behind the instrument cluster lights up. There is another one at the back. I'll show it to you when we go there. Then we have the side mirrors, which are pretty big. You can see when compared to the size of my hands. They are mounted on the door, so you have some visibility, but it is still blocked off over here. Then you have these cameras which help with the blind spot, and you have the indicators here which has a small element inside them. Over here you can see the size. But I don't like this design because they have a lot of bezel around it. I do like the designs that Volvo does. It's basically just a big mirror without any of the plastic covering it. I like that. Then this car has the option for the powered running boards. Currently it's down because I have unlocked the car. You get that as an option, I believe. Yep, it is an option. I've just checked. Then otherwise you get the standard running boards, but obviously being powered they'll just close up when you go in the car, and that's much better. They won't be damaged if you go over some rough stones. Then on the door handle they have a small Easter egg. You have the Cadillac crest over here. Essentially, if you talk about the door handles, they don't move physically. You just have a small plastic button behind here. You just press that and the door opens. And they are soft close also. Since we're already on the side, I think I'll show you the fuel efficiency. Something you shouldn't expect will be very high on this car, being a V8. Then it's 9.1 kilometers per liter, as you can see here. And the vehicle class is light truck because it's basically on almost a truck chassis that's turned into a luxury SUV. Then you have a small Cadillac badge here, which looks good. Usually you get this in chrome in the luxury trim. Even the surrounds for the window are in chrome for that car. Also the roof rails are in black because it's the sport model, or else you'll get a chrome for the luxury. Then at the back, same size wheels, 22-inch 275 section, and that's all the changes on the side. Overall the size of this car is pretty big, and even though I'm a pretty tall guy, this car makes me feel small. It's essentially a pretty huge car, and this one is just the standard edition Cadillac. You get an ESV model which is even longer than this, because essentially the space for the seats is the same, but the main advantage with the longer model is the more cargo room you get behind the third row seats. If that's something you don't need a lot, or if you are if you carry a lot of 7 people around and you constantly need to have these third row seats above, then you might consider going for the bigger model. And now we come to the rear. So something Cadillac does best is the tail lights, and the Cadillac has always, I believe, has the tail lights which go up to the roof, and I think it is something unique. Not a lot of manufacturers do this except Volvo, I believe. So these look cool, and these are LEDs, and they have a small detail inside them. I'm not sure if the phone can pick that up, but it has that. Then you have these also. These act as the indicators. Then you have a small Cadillac shaped crest here also integrated in the tail light. So at the back again a huge Cadillac logo which almost covers my hand, and this also acts as a button for the tailgate, which I'll show it to you later. Then at the rear, again, like I said, the badging, I wanted to talk about something. You have the Escalade badge written over here, and then you have 600 badge here. Now you might be wondering what that 600 is. So actually Cadillac is, now previously they used to put the engine size over there like 6.2 liters, so they would put 6.2, but now they're putting the torque number here, and this torque number is in Newton meters. If you want to know the actual torque number, it's actually 622, but they just round it off to 600 and keep it here, because Cadillac says that in the future the torque number will be the most important one, since even nowadays due to electrification, even small 4-cylinder engines with a nice powerful electric motor can produce a lot of torque and power. So that's something Cadillac says will be more important instead of the engine sizes. Then you have these exhaust pipes which are pretty huge. These are the surrounds, and you can see the exhaust is hidden inside. Then this part over here is actually covered, but that's for the towing package. You can attach your trailer here and all that stuff, but so that it doesn't look ugly, it is nicely covered. When you want to tow something, you can just remove that panel, keep it inside and tow your stuff. Now I'll show you a bit of the functionality of the boot. So to open the boot, you can either press this, or you can when you press unlock, you get this small Cadillac logo here. Now you might be thinking why it is off center, but what it is meant for is actually just so that it's a hands-free tailgate. So that's the location where you need to swipe your foot like I did here, and that opens the trunk. It's obviously electrically operated, and if you want to close, you have your bags in your hands and you can't close it physically. All you need to do is swipe again. Just be careful of your head. Okay, just wait a minute, it didn't register that. There it goes, and it closes back down. I will talk about the size of the trunk a bit later when we after we cover the interior. So now that's all the changes on the exterior. I think we should head into the interior, and I'll talk about all those interior changes they have done now. So let's talk about the interior, and before we go inside, I'll talk about the door trim like I do always in my videos. So the quality of the door trim you get, since this is the Platinum Sport model, the top of the range, you get leather, full leather I mean, and it is pretty soft touch leather on the tops here, then even the armrest here and also here. This thing has a wood trim, but you might be thinking this is gloss black. It is not. It is a wood trim. If you look at it closely just from the right angle, you can see the wood grain. Personally, I don't like wood finishes like these. I like the open pore wood so that you can feel the wood on that. That's my personal favorite. Then you have the small chrome strip going all the way, and that has the ambient lighting hidden in it. You can see it right now. This color is somewhat burgundy or plum color. Not my favorite choice. Some people might like it, but personally not my favorite. This is a sparkly black trim, something better than gloss black obviously. It just has a nice amount of sparkle to it. You have the window controls, and these are the controls for your side mirrors. Then you have your door pockets. Being a big car, you have a lot of door pocket space, but it's not lined with felt like other luxury cars. And I think that's something Cadillac should have done. It feels pretty cheap on the down over here, so they could have improved that considering the price of this car. Then you have this car, I mean the Platinum Sport and the Platinum Luxury get the AKG 36 speaker system as standard. You have a speaker grill over here, and you can see the brand AKG is written here. Then on the side you have the Escalade sill plates. They are illuminated. Then we come to the seats. So the seats over here are in semi-aniline leather, which is really soft leather. You also get on the base models like the luxury trim, or you can't call it even a base model. So that gets leatherette, which is essentially fake leather. But if you go for the trims higher up, you get this semi-aniline. But on the premium luxury models and premium sport models, the last third row are in leatherette. but this being the platinum model, all the rows are in the same semi-aniline soft leather, and these are really soft and they feel good. Then you can see this pattern you have on the seats. It's a nice pattern. Then you have the small Cadillac crest over here, and you have the speakers integrated at the back here, because 36 speakers, they have to put somewhere the speakers, so why not on the headrest. Then you have a small pretty soft headrest also. The seat adjustment controls I'll talk about. You have the height adjustment, you can move the seat back and forward. Then this is for the backrest. Then you have your lumbar adjustment, and also I believe massaging seats, it has that. I believe you can see it when I press this button here. This is for the massaging. If I press that, you can see it moves. So that's if you want to relax, you can use that. Then on the side, this being the 4-wheel drive model, 4-wheel drive does come as an option. As standard, it is rear-wheel drive. So you have the auto, 2 high, 4 high. This is for hill ascent control. That means it will help you while you're going above the hill. This is for your modes. Then this is for the air suspension. Being a sport model, you also have magnetic suspension as standard. So this is for lowering and raising the suspension. You have your parking brake here. This is, as like I said, for the trailer package. If you have that, you can adjust the trailer from here. And this is for the brightness of your instrument cluster. So that's all from this side. Now I think we should take a look on the inside. So to get inside, you can use the running boards. And let's get inside now. Let me just close the door. So the door close sound is pretty nice and it feels solid. So if you want to view the instrument cluster, you instead of if you just press the start button over here once, it won't switch on that screen. To switch on, you have to start the car. So let's start the car. There we go. So that's the main highlight of the interior. So they have a 38-inch display, and they have divided it. So that's a 7-inch, this is a 14-inch, and this is a 17-inch displays. So we will have a lot to talk about over here. So first, one thing I forgot to show you is the seat ventilation and heating controls are over here. Then let's talk about the interior quality first. So dashboard quality, again pretty good, soft touch, everything all the way across. So the 36 speakers, you might not know where all of them are. Some of them are pretty easy to be seen, like here you have them on the top here, like I said, on the headrest, then you have behind. But there is one more place you might not be knowing, and this is all the way here, this way. So AKG has put a literal sound bar in the car. It has small speakers inside, but as you can see, they have the speaker grills are integrated inside. Many people think it's just a design feature, but it is actually a speaker sound bar. So that's something new you might be knowing now. Then let's talk about the instrument cluster first. So it's basic. All of these displays are OLEDs, or organic LEDs if you want the full form of it. So basically you have a big speedometer in the middle, and you have the rev counter here. You have your tire pressure monitoring system on this side. You get your radio controls here. This is your fuel level, your 4-wheel drive, and everything is seen. This is the standard digital instrument, and you can't change anything over here. It stays like this. If you want the rev counter in the middle, you can't do that. You just have one screen here. Then you come to the smaller screen. That's the 7-inch touch screen. I think this is something Cadillac has really done well over here, and something the other manufacturers should copy. So it's touchscreen. You can see your trip meter and everything, your distance to empty, and then when you swipe, you can see your trip to. And if you swipe again, it just goes completely blank if you don't want to be distracted by that information. So that's something you know now. Then this is for the gauge cluster. Now, like I said, this is on the standard gauge screen, and that's all information you get on this. Then if you press map, as you can see, it changes. So you have your speedometer up above, then you get your map in the middle, and you have all your stuff here. Then if you want, you have your AR camera system here, and the AR camera basically shows a live feed from the front camera. And when you're traveling across on the road and you're coming up to a bend or a turn, What this will do is impose arrows on that specific turn, so that you know exactly which road you want to turn to. So that is something obviously that is copied from Mercedes, but I think more manufacturers should do that. It is a pretty helpful system. And this car also has night vision. Basically you can only switch it on when you're at night time, I mean, but considering this car is a bit dark place, so it switches on. So it is a pretty high definition camera, but considering there is a lot of light coming in, the definition is a bit low. But that's all the functions over here. You can see you have another function here which you can increase the brightness for your night vision camera and also the sharpness to some extent. That's only if you switch on the night vision. Now let's keep it on the gauge cluster, and this is for your heads-up display. Let me show it to you right here. It is directly in your line of sight, and you can control the brightness, the height, everything from here, and you can go back to your trip. So that's all the function on that. Now let's come to the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is wrapped in leather. It is not very thick, it's just the right amount of thickness to hold the steering wheel. And you have your indicators at the back, and you have your light controls or wipers at the back. Then you have your paddle shifters. Normally the people who drive this car won't use that much, use the paddles a lot, so that's why they are in black plastic, but they could have done it in aluminum. It would have looked better. So that's all on the paddle shifters. Then everything on this part is leather and stitch. You have your Cadillac crest here. These are your controls for the cruise control. Then you have this for your I think it's for the brake assist, and this is your heated steering wheel. This is for your voice commands, and this button is called conversation enhancement. When I press it, you can see it is on, and you can switch it off. Basically what that is you have a microphone up above over here, that suppose if some people are sitting in the last third row and you want to talk to them and they can't hear you when you're talking normally from your driver's seat, so all you have to do is press that, and it turns on the conversation enhancement, and the microphone will carry your voice to the speakers at the back, and they will hear your voice more clearly. And if you want to do some quiet conversations and you don't want them to listen, you can just switch it off from here also. This is basically a blank button, but you can see they just haven't just left it out. They have put some design details in it. It's just so that it is more it looks good with this. It is symmetrical, I mean. Then on this side of the steering wheel you have your seat controls. This is for your music, this is for your phone, and this is nothing, is just for your scrolling. Then you have your volume mute button, and to increase your volume up and down. Then you have this small chrome strip going over here. It looks pretty nice. It is not a flat bottom steering wheel, and currently since the car is switched on, I can show you the steering wheel. It is pretty light and it feels good to turn the steering wheel around. So that's all over here. Now I think we should come to the central screen, so the main highlight. So again, since it's an OLED panel, it is pretty thin, and because of that they could curve it. And Cadillac is the largest curved display in the industry, but I think now when it was launched, I think it was the largest curved display, but now I think the Mercedes EQS takes that crown from them. So let's come to the main central display. It is 17 inches across. It is a bit of an unusual design. It's not perfectly rectangular, it's a bit curved on this side. So let's go. You have some shortcut buttons here. This is for your home, music, navigation, your phone calls, and vehicle information. Then you have your audio controls. You go to your navigation from here, and the map is displayed over here. You can see you have a bit of a bezel, and this goes like these instead of the traditional rectangular display. You have your search and everything on this side. You can press home. So you have two ways to control the screen. Again, touch screen, and you have this control over here. When you're touching the screen, it shows a normal display like this, and when you touch the controller, it goes into this oval shape, so that it knows you're going around it in a circle. So it just some nice touches by Cadillac. It looks good. Then again, you have your phone, your vehicle information. If you click that, you have your time and date. You swipe across. You have your brake pad life. This is your air filter life. You have your traction and stability control systems here. Then you have your transmission fluid. You have your coolant temperature, oil temperature. Then again, battery voltage, how many total hours the engine was on and on idle. Then this is for your angle when you're going off-road. like it will show you the angle, the degree angle the wheels are at, your body, and how much the angle of the front also. Then you have your average speed, you have a timer. I don't know why you need that timer for, it's not a sports car. You have your fuel economy here. Then you have your tire pressure systems, you have your oil life and notifications. If you missed any, it will show up here. So that's all in the vehicle information. This is to control your rear climate control. This car has standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Apple CarPlay I believe is wireless, I'm not sure about the Android Auto though. Then you have the user profiles which you can store here. You have your Wi-Fi hotspot and you have your settings. So this is essentially like a tile system which you can put your favorites here, and so that it's easy to access for you. Then you have some more functions, some apps. These are the OnStar services by GM. Then you have your rear media, the TVs you get at the back, you can control that from here. You have your ambient lighting, you go into that, you can change the color of the ambient lighting. You can see now it's green, you can go to red, or you can switch to any color you like. I like the dark blue personally, and you can switch it off also from here. Then you have your camera systems, so let's go to that now. So you have a lot of camera systems. So this one is currently showcasing the front camera, and if I turn the wheel you can see the guidelines move around. And yeah, this is the normal view. You can go to a wide angle view. Then this is for an overhead view, and this gives you the side view so that you can place your wheels better. Then you can go to the back camera from here, and again the guidelines will move around when you move the steering wheel. This is the normal view, wide angle view, overhead view, side view, same as before. Then this is your 360-degree camera. This is something Cadillac could have done better, because systems in Mercedes, BMW are a lot better. Even in Range Rover actually, they are a lot better. The graphic of the car looks pretty weird. You can turn the wheel and it showcases that the wheel is turning on that, except it doesn't have any other cool features other than that. I think Cadillac could have done something better. It looks pretty laggy also. Then this is for your trailer hitch. Like when you attach your trailer here, you can see where to exactly position your car so that it attaches to the tow hook properly. And these you get more controls when you attach the trailer and you have camera on that trailer. This will showcase that. So that's all in the camera department here, and these are some parking assists. That's all on the screen. So that's done. Now let's come down. You have another small screen here. So these are your air vent controls. You press them, you go to these are the fan controls. Something I like Cadillac has done is, especially when you change the numbers, you can see how they move. Instead of just directly jumping to 17 to 18, it goes one number ahead, and that is pretty nice. So that is something, if you want to see, you have your to switch on the system that's here. Then you have your auto system here. This is for the airflow, how you want it. Then you have your max AC controls. Everything is, all the climate controls are integrated into one piece over here, and that's good. Instead of hunting for them inside the screen, this is a much better system. Then you have all the air vents here. You have one in the middle, you have another here, you also have another over there, and you have one for the driver on this side. Now let's come to the center console. So this is the gear selector. You have to press this actually and then go into reverse. Then to go into drive, you have to go into D, and if you want to go into L, you again press that, it goes into L. And when you want to go back into park, you just press this, it goes back into park, and it engages the parking brake for you. Then this is the auto hold function here. This is for the auto start stop, and these are for your lane assistance system. So what the quality of this is pretty low compared to the class of the car, because essentially what this part has is the same system as you get in a CT5. And what Cadillac could have done is just improve a bit of the quality of the buttons or this rotary wheel, or even wrap the shifter in leather. It would have felt good. Other than that, everything works as it should. Like I said, these are the controls for your infotainment, volume controls, your hazards are here. Then you have your cup holders here. Currently I have them here with the key fob on this side. I don't think these are cooled and heated, I'm not sure about that, but it should have the functionality considering you have those over here. Then you have another small space here with your place for your cigarette lighter or even a 12-volt socket. Then you have your USB-C and USB-A, and if you don't want to keep that open, you can just close it up. This is all wood, but being glossy and very dark, it looks gloss black, and it also catches fingerprints. So that's all on the center console. What this part is over here is a wireless charger. All you can do is just put your phone inside and it will charge your phone. That's a nice touch by Cadillac, because this keeps the phone secure in one place, instead of if suppose you keep it on the other sides, and the phone, if you brake suddenly in an emergency brake, the phone just goes crashing around. So that's something that won't happen, and also it gives you easy access to your phone over here. Then let's come up. So you have your rear view mirror here. It's a frameless mirror, but it has two functions. So obviously as a natural mirror, but if you fold down this switch, it switches on the camera at the back. So it is something that to give you a clear view. For example, if you have some passengers sitting, or you have a lot of cargo space which covers the glass totally, you can use this as a system. You have some features in it also. Now suppose you can increase the brightness with this, then you can change another function. This is to zoom in or out, and you have another if you want to position the camera into a different angle. So that's for that, and you just press again, okay, and it's done. Then again, to switch that back off, all you have to do is do that. Then let's come up. This is something I'm not sure, I think this is to switch off your Wi-Fi hotspot. Then you have some these are the controls for your garage doors. You have your light controls here. These are LEDs, of course. These are the systems, I mean the buttons for your sunroof, which is a huge panoramic sunroof. Then you have another one which is for the blinds, so that if you press that, it closes the blind at the back, and that's all that. Then this is if you want to tilt up the sunroof. This is to open that rear glass at the back, so that you can load stuff inside instead of opening the full tailgate. These are to switch off, I mean not switch off, just fold down the rear seats, and that's all the function over here. And I'll show you the visors now. So the visors are covered in a soft suede material, and considering the size of the car, a pretty big, you have a vanity mirror with its own soft lighting. So that's all over here. Now in terms of practicality, I'll show you the glove box. So the glove box is lined with felt, unlike the door pockets, and a pretty usable size. If you keep your things inside, they won't rattle around. And now we come to the central armrest. So the central armrest has this Cadillac name over here, and it is aluminum, I believe. Overall, the armrest is pretty nice and soft. You feel comfortable sitting inside. And when you open it, this one, for example, has the fridge option, and you have your SD card slots, your USB-Cs and your USB-A here. And this is to make sure your phone is charging when you keep that on here for the wireless charger. So right now the fridge is on actually, and it is really cold inside. You can easily keep a bottle of water or juice, whatever you want to keep inside, and this thing will keep it cool. And this is for your level of cooling you want inside. One disadvantage of the freezer option is that a lot of space which you could have for keeping other items is gone. But if you want to keep those stuff, you can just switch off the fridge, and it will you can keep your stuff inside also. But I think this is personally a nice touch, and really it is really cold. It is actually a refrigerator, Cadillac say. It's not just that nor something basic cooling systems. It's an actual refrigerator. So be sure if that's something you want to option it out. I think it comes standard, by the way, on the Platinum. So now that's all on the front, I mean. And one thing I wanted to show you is the headroom. Being an Escalade, it is a pretty big car, and I have a lot of headroom in my driving position, and I feel generally very comfortable. This is something I not say very often, and if you want to know why, you can check my other videos, for which I'll put the playlist link above in the corner. You can take a look at the other cars I have reviewed. But now I think we should take a look at the back seats, and I'll show you the features over there. Okay, so let's start with the rear seats now. So you have your speaker grills cover here, and again the same materials as in the front, soft touch leather and leather over here. The only cheap plastic you have is on this side, but that's something you can ignore now, I believe. Then again you have these illuminated sill plates, and the seats are basically the same as in the front, just a bit difference in the padding, like over here in the seat headrest, because it doesn't have those speakers. On this Platinum luxury or sport models, you get these captain's chairs. You can get a bench chair as an option, but it comes as standard with these captain's chairs. So what I think we should do is get inside and I'll show you the space this car has. So to get inside, you again keep your foot on the running board and hold these handles. So a lot of space. Currently this seat is in a bit of a front position, and even though it is in its furthest position, I believe I still have a lot of knee room and I can be comfortable here. I have a lot of foot space also. Headroom is a bit tight due to the sunroof. It does eat into the headspace a bit, but I think it's manageable even for me. I'm 6'4" and most people won't be at that height, and it will still be comfortable for you guys. Then you have your air vents here, which are blowing pretty cool air all the way. You have your coat hooks here. Then you have your speaker covers on this side. You have your LED lights here. Then you have these screens. Cadillac say these are some of the biggest screens in the industry. The rear seats only for that. And to wake them up, all you do is double tap and it switches on. So you can see the connections this thing has. So you have again navigation. If you want to listen to your music via USB, you can do that from here. If you want to attach a USB connection for your videos, you can do that. You have your HDMIs. So there are a lot of functionalities. If you hit navigation, it shows up the navigation. It's a bit slow to process. Okay, there it is. For some reason this car is set up for the Dubai map. I don't know why. It is touchscreen, and if you want to, what you can do is just type in an address and you can send that address to the driver in the front, and he can choose if he wants to accept it or ignore it. That's something you can do as a rear passenger, especially if you're not the one driving and you're being chauffeured inside. Then at the back you have some door pockets with a decent amount of space, and we come into the middle. So in the middle, let me just put this key away. Okay, so in the middle you have these controls for your climate control, and you can switch on the heated steering, heated seats, and this is for your air wind direction. Then this is for your fan speed. If you want to switch that up or down, you can control that from here. And wait a minute, then this is for your temperature, and everything else is similar. You can switch that off like that. Then what you have here, these are your cup holders. Not a pretty big size, but usable enough. And because these are the captain's chair, you don't have a center armrest, so that's why they have integrated the cup holder here, something that's pretty good. Then over here in the bottom, let me just turn on my flashlight so you can see clearly. Okay, so you have a USB-C and you have two HDMIs and another USB-C, and this is essentially a power outlet which you get at home. So in theory you could attach your PlayStation 5s or Xbox Ones or Xbox Series X also, and just at the back play your PlayStation on the screen. You can also hit home, and that's all the functions you have in the screen, nothing else is there. Then since these are the captain's chair, you have your own armrest which you can put away also, but these are pretty nice and comfortable. So you have some adjustments for your seat. So this is basically if you want to slide into the front or at the back. So this is at the full position at the back, and that's all the headroom and knee room I have. Considering my height, that's only fair. How long can this thing go back? Then you have a recline function which you pull. You can recline a bit at the back. You can see it reclines a lot, and because after reclining it does give me a lot of headroom, so that's something. And also this recline function is also used for another thing which I'll show it to you later. So for now let me just keep it in its standard position. And now since we have seen the second row of seats, I think it's time we go and take a look at the third row of seats. So to go into the third row, if you are small enough, you can just go from here, and that's something I will attempt now. So let me just put up this armrest. Let me turn around and let's go into the third row. So I am here at the third row of seats. So this one at the back, it's in almost the same position as this rear seats. So one thing I want to do is, let me just put this seat in the front a bit. You pull this, you push it in the front at a decent size. That's more than enough space for somebody else. And now I can sit here pretty comfortable, and even I have a lot just enough amount of headroom, and I can survive for a short ride here. You have your own air vents at the back. You have your LED lights. This is the speaker I was talking about that helps in the conversation enhancement. Then you have your own USB-C ports a small cup holder, and this part is in leather, so you can rest your elbow. Generally speaking, this is a pretty nice place for smaller sized adults, not someone of my size. It will feel a bit claustrophobic for me because I'm a big guy and I need a lot of space. So that's all at the back. Again, these seats are in those semi-aniline leather, like I said. The headrest can move down or up. You have your seat belt controls at the back also. So that's all there is here, and I think let's go out and I'll show you another way you can get inside. So you have another way you can go into the back row, and that's by pulling this panel over here, or you have a small button on this side over here. So if you press that button, I'll just show it to you. It switches, it folds down the rear seat, and then you have to press it again, and there you can see it goes up. You just have to help it up on this side. So you have plenty of space to go inside, and like I showed you, you can just there is a lot of space. If I could fit in there, then anybody can fit inside over there. And then you have this pull latch over here, which you pull again, and it puts the seats down, and then you pull this seat up. That's done, and you put this headrest up. So that's one way you can do that, or you can just pull this 2 times and it folds up. So that's all the functions at the back. Like I showed you the third row also and the second row. And now I think what we should do is take a look at the boot space. Okay, so to open the trunk, you have it's a 2-part trunk actually. So you can open the glass, or you can open the whole tailgate as itself. So to open the glass, you have control inside, and you also have your control on this side. If you press this 2 times, so it opens up, and there we go. So you just pull this up, and it is on gas struts. So if there are smaller items, if you just want to put in from here, and there is no need to pull up the whole tailgate for that, you can use this system here, and then you can just close it up there, and it's closed. And if you want to open the tailgate, like I said before, I showed you from that logo over there, but you can also use this or the remote control, I mean the key fob. So I press that and that opens up. So it's a pretty fast opening tailgate. So being a Cadillac Escalade, it's bound to have a lot of space here, and generally speaking, behind the third row it also has a lot of usable space. It's not like those other competitors, like especially the BMW X7 and the Mercedes GLS, which are not purpose built 3 rows. They are, I mean, purpose built, but they don't have that much space compared to something like this Cadillac over here, and also the Lincoln Navigator. So those two have a lot of space. So you have some underfloor storage also inside. There are some stuff here, so I can't open it fully, but you have a lot of storage space inside also. I have actually written down the numbers of the size of these cargo space, because I can't remember the numbers on my own. There are a lot of numbers, so let me just read them out to you. So behind the third row, you have 722 liters of space. All these numbers that I'm telling you are from the Cadillac website. So if you want to check the number out, you can go to the Cadillac website and take a look over there. So 722 liters behind the third row. And if you want to fold them down, all you have to do is press these buttons here. So this is for the right seat, and that is for the left seat. So if I press this, you see it folds the headrest down, and that goes down. Then for the left, you can do that again, and it goes all the way down. So you can see you have a lot of space when those third row fold down. And how much space, I'll just tell you. So behind the second row, you have 2064 liters of space, and that is a massive amount of space. You can literally keep anything over here. And now if you want even more space, all you can do is just fold the second row down, and to do that you have these buttons here. You just press them once first, then you press them again, and they fold up. So you can do the same thing with that also. And when those second row seats are up, the amount of space you have is 3426 liters. So again, massive amount of space. You can just store anything, or if you want to go camping inside the Cadillac Escalade, you can do that also. so a lot of space. Then what you have over here is so again another power outlet. If you want to attach a vacuum or something to clean this up, you can do that. So this space is actually class leading, and if you go for the even longer model, you have even more amount of space. So that's all over here. And you have the small Escalade kick plates here, and with the Escalade logo and some small line designs, and that is a nice touch by Cadillac. So that's all there is. So let me just close this back up, and to close the rear tailgate you can use this button. So that was the video on the new Cadillac Escalade. Hope you enjoyed it a lot, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below. And if you're new down here, if you're new to my channel, I mean, you can hit subscribe and the bell icon so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload a new video. And my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers soon. We are already above 600. So fingers crossed we reach this soon. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.